My name is Ben Hiskelov. I am the project engineer here on our oil, one of the project engineers here on our oil and gas team. And I particularly specialize on our Dynalco product line. I'm going to be giving a presentation today on our magnetic pickups, something that's kind of our bread and butter and something I'm sure a lot of you guys are quite familiar with. So I'm just going to get into this and yeah, there you go. All right, so starting with the agenda, what we're going to cover with this training. So I'm going to go over just an intro to Dynalco and magnetic pickups, a construction, not too deep, but just give you guys an idea of what goes into them and how they work. Potential applications. I'll give quite a few examples of current applications and other potential applications that are already being used in. I'm going to give you guys an idea of kind of the advantages of our Dynalco magnetic pickups and the advantages of magnetic pickups in general versus some other types of speed sensors. I'll give you guys a little insight into some of our ongoing and upcoming projects and just give an idea of what's possible and what we're already doing. We'll go over some key takeaways and some questions at the end. So you guys can feel free to stop me or interject at any time, but at the end we'll have time to go over questions. I can go back on any slides that you guys might have a question on. So I'll get right into it. So our product breakdown with Dynalco. We have three main product lines. This would be the magnetic pickups, which we're going to talk about today. Round instruments being tachometers, panel meters, monitors, any kind of display that takes the input from a magnetic pickup or from a speed sensor and can display that in a multitude of different ways. And speed switches and transmitters, which again is taking a speed input and maybe an overspeed trip on a system or some kind of a speed switch on a system. So as I said, we're going to focus on magnetic pickups, and you can see here with our 2023 sales breakdown, this made up 44% of what we did for our Dynalco product line. So, like I said, this is kind of our bread and butter. It's what Dynalco, over 60 years ago made our name in magnetic pickups, and something we're really focused on and something we do very well here. So you can see with the it makes up almost half of our sales and it's something that is very important and why I'm giving this training so we can all kind of get a better understanding of what these are used for and where we can get some potential applications in. So an intro into magnetic pickups to give you guys a bit of background, a bit of knowledge on them. So they're sensors used to detect and measure rotational speed of machinery. As you can see in the little graphic on the right side, that's a gear tooth and a bracket with a magnetic pickup attached to it. So really anything rotational that is ferrous, so anything that will interfere with that magnetic field of magnetic pickup is what you're going to get rotational speed from. So the way it works is it generates a pulse that can be converted into a signal that represents speed of rotation. So when you're interrupting that magnetic field, you're going to see a kind of a sine wave generated from that, and that's going to give you your basically distance and speed between gear teeth. And this equipment, these speed sensors are very critical for monitoring equipment performance. Anything from vibration or position. But the biggest application that I see is in connection with maybe a speed sensor, something very critical. An overspeed trip of any kind of system can be extremely crucial to saving that system if something goes wrong or a potential emergency shutdown. So the biggest value that we get with magnetic pickups versus other speed sensing devices is their durability and reliability in harsh environments. Because these are solid state instruments, they are extremely durable. Ours are stainless steel housings and are fully potted, so there's no moving pieces. There's really nothing, because also magnetic. There's nothing optic that can get ruined with some dust or weather. It's really a very safe and reliable way to get a consistent speed measurement. So moving into the construction of magnetic pickups, this is kind of a cutaway view of just one of our models of magnetic pickups. You can see there's this purple box in the middle. That would be the magnet with an iron pole piece that in this instant is an open end. So this magnetic piece is actually sticking out of the end of the magnetic pickup. And that's what is going to interact with a ferrous material. And then around that, you'll have a wire cable that goes out to, a pin connection or a wire connection, or, any plethora of different connections that you can have that go to a system or a speed switch or a tachometer, or, kind of anything that you really need. And everything there with this, bright green is the epoxy that holds us all together. So there's no movement. There's no there's no tampering with anything that's inside there. It's all locked in and very secure within that. So that's just very, just one example, but a very brief general construction of a magnetic pickup. So a little bit more about how they work, showing this magnetic field on the right. You can see, when a gear tooth comes into alignment with that pole piece, you can see that magnetic field interacting with that, and that difference in the field is where you're going to see your pulses and what is going to give you that reading that we're looking for speed. So, as I said, pole piece of a permanent magnet generates magnetic field. Ferrous object passes through a magnetic field, produces a voltage across a coil. That coil voltage decreases when lines of force are not disturbed, so in between gear teeth, and obviously when it is aligned with a gear tooth, that is increased again. As I just said, and this produces an AC voltage, and this is, what we're looking for an input of any speed monitoring instrumentation, tachometer or panel monitor or a speed switch, or and anything you really need to measure speed. So looking a bit into our different offerings and types of magnetic pickups, we have a passive magnetic pickup. This is, our standard intrinsically safe version. These are pickups that are actually, there's no need for external power, as being powered by the AC voltage that it is inducing while the gear tooth or flywheel is spinning. So this is a very good option for maybe an established system where you are looking for, let's say, redundancy. You already have one speed output device, and you want to add something, you can just add a bracket and add this in. And you don't have to worry about power to this device because it's going to generate its own power. And then on the contrary, we have powered magnetic pickups. This gives obviously a higher output current. This is very good for maybe a little bit slower applications. It can be, if there's room in a system to add a power input, this is a very good option because you get that higher output current. You're going to get a little bit more accuracy. Active, very similar as well, DC powered. We have Hall effect versions of this, but this is best used in low speed applications because you always have an active reading. When it's very low speed, you don't have to rely on the AC voltage getting produced. And with low speeds, magnetic pickups can sometimes get a little bit less accurate because with that speed of a flywheel or gear tooth moving a bit slower, the AC voltage is a little bit less consistent. So when you always have an active reading, you are much more able to see small differences or interactions between gear tooth and that magnetic field getting interacted with. And then, these being, as you can see on the right side of these graphics, full stainless steel. As I said previously, that model that I showed had an open pole piece that came through the end of it. We also have an option for a blind end pole piece. This is great for explosion proof applications where you have absolutely no outside interaction with anything happening with the magnet. And so that's a great option for anything like that. So when you think magnetic pickups, I think the first thing that comes to mind, and the thing that we focus on most, and the market that we have been in most frequently is gas turbines with these flywheels. So I kind of in my experiences talking with companies that work with turbines, going to shows, magnetic pickups come up a lot, and it's something that's used on many of these systems, and there's just so many industries and up and coming industries as well that use these, and there's a lot of opportunity here. So some industries that I see with gas turbines, this is just some, but there's so many more, but these are the big ones. Power generation, oil and gas, aviation, manufacturing, wind and alternative energy, and the marine industry. Like I said, this is just what I have seen quite a bit of activity in, but there are so many more applications, and there's so many more up and coming things that these termites are being used on. So looking into other potential applications outside of our main application being gas turbines, in oil and gas in the upstream market, I've seen these used a lot in diesel generators. Midstream, a lot of compressor skids use these. Downstream, we have refinery systems, steam turbines, gas turbines, as I said, and gas transmission stations. So you can see here, this is a diesel engine with a magnetic pickup right there and a Dynalco tachometer connected to it as well. So next, we're looking at power generation, engine flywheel speed monitoring, and I can kind of show a little graphic right here. This is a nuclear application. And I mean, you can see with the turbine generator, input of the inlet of water, there's a lot of rotational machinery being used in these applications, and really anything rotational with a ferrous object, or even without a ferrous object. We have a thing called tachometer tape, which is basically just a little metal piece of tape that you can put onto any rotational object, and that will interact as well with the magnetic field produced by the magnetic pickup. So, in like I said, in this application, this nuclear example, there's a lot of rotation happening, and something that we can see potentially a lot of opportunity to look for speed here. And lastly, just of these ones that I'm highlighting, marine, we see engine speed monitoring, propeller shaft speed monitoring, and as you can see in this little diagram, there's quite a bit of rotational equipment here as well. Whether you want to, mount a bracket onto the outside and measure the speed of the propeller, whether you want to, mount it on the inside on the shaft, whether you need a piece of tachometer tape, or if there's any differentiation with the ferrous material, you'll definitely be able to get a speed there and get a measurement for whatever reason you really need to. And then just some applications, maybe a little bit different than our general applications or steam turbines, or our big markets that are served. Just to show it's really anything rotational, and there being a need for a speed input or output. This is something that you can use. So with off-highway vehicles, construction and mining, this is an example with a wood chipper. Just a motor on a wood chipper. For whatever reason, if you need to measure speed or operation of this wood chipper, these people used a magnetic pickup for that. Looking into chemical and process markets, measuring peak speed outputs on a turbine or a motor. So here you can see this is actually an application where a magnetic pickup was put on this engine right here and went to a control box with also a Dynalco tachometer and speed switch. So, as I've said, any input of speed that you need, this is a great application, and obviously works very well with our other Dynalco products. Again, we're seeing this here in the process market with turbo expanders. The very similar situation. A speed sensor, putting an input into a speed switch or a tachometer. Again, with the fluid power market, hydraulic motor speed monitoring. So in this instance, you have, as I said, a hydraulic motor, and using magnetic pickup, you can get a speed reading from that. So, really all of these examples are just to show, outside of gas turbines or outside of maybe more obvious big rotating machinery, there are a lot of applications where there's things rotating in a system, and a magnetic pickup is a very good, safe, and consistent way to get that reading. So looking into, the advantages of magnetic pickups versus some other speed sensing devices, maybe they'd be mechanical or optical speed sensing devices. As I said, these are very compact. We have models ranging from 2-3 inches, out to a foot long reach, and they're solid state. So them being stainless steel outsides, stainless steel housing, and potted on the inside. There's no moving pieces. There's nothing to worry about wearing out. Um, and this is something that, especially in hazardous conditions, and you know, just in general, is very helpful when you don't have to worry about things breaking, or frequent replacements. So again, yeah, with our rugged design, it's able to withstand a wide temperature range, and extreme shock and vibration. Obviously, with no moving parts, you don't have to worry about shock and vibration knocking anything loose, or breaking any of those moving pieces. So, this in turn provides much lower maintenance and operating costs. You don't have to worry about replacing switches or rotating couplings, nothing to snap, no bulbs to burn out like in optical devices. So really something you can, put in a system and not have to worry about. Kind of just one less headache for everyone working on these systems, and gives you a very consistent and accurate reading. And another thing that I've seen come up quite a bit in my conversation is this being used for redundancies. So, say you already are using a magnetic pickup, or you're already using a optical speed sensing device or mechanical speed sensing device. There are many applications that do require redundancy. So, as I said, with this being very safe and being very resistant and not needing, constant change outs, having a magnetic pickup as well on your system, especially maybe being a passive pickup where you can just put a bracket and very easily incorporate these into any system. You can get a second measurement. So if you ever do see a differentiation between the measurements coming in from your two speed sensing devices, you can go look into deeper, which one is failing, what's going on, and get another indication of the operation of your system. So the advantages of Dynalco in particular, versus maybe some other opportunities that or other people that might offer magnetic pickups. We here have a dedicated team that's focused only on Dynalco products. Me being included, I'm on our oil and gas team, but my specialization is Dynalco. Every customer support question, every customer interaction, everything that has a question about Dynalco comes to me, and it comes to our team that's only focused on Dynalco. So among our production team that we have, over 60 years combined of experience. So I spend quite a bit of time with our production team, and they have a wealth of knowledge. I still learn from them every single day. They've seen these be built. They know every piece, every little pole piece, every magnet. And this is something that that experience really does quite a bit for our quality, and for our knowledge of these products. And that being said, this is a very established product line. Dynalco's made a name for itself 60 plus years ago. And as a salesman once told me, they said Dynalco is like the Kleenex of magnetic pickups. When they think magnetic pickups, they think Dynalco. So the fact that any company can make a name for themselves in association with a product, just shows the strong history and the strong background that they've had in that product, and the confidence that the market has in that product. So we know how good these products are, and we know that our customers really appreciate the quality that we put out. And that being said, our quality team, our engineering team are top notch. I work extremely closely. Obviously, I'm on the engineering team, so not to toot my own horn, but our quality team works very hard. Every single piece that comes to our factory is tested stringently. I haven't seen too many fail coming out of our factory, but it's it's very very stringent, the quality standards that we keep, and we see that with we very very rarely get any returns or any issues with our magnetic pickups, um, you know, if ever. And that's really a testament to how good our quality team is and how high our quality standard is. And I see that, obviously being here, working with these people that are building these, I see the very stringent quality standards, and I'm sure everyone that has worked with these Dynalco products has seen that they're very reliable, and we put out a very good product. And as I've said previously, we have very high temperature ranges that we can play in. You know, I'll kind of talk about it in a slide or two, but we even have potential to look into some very high temperature ranges and some applications that maybe some other companies don't quite plan. We do offer, third-party approvals on a plethora of our different models. So, quite frequently when I'm working with customers, they'll come to me, and instead of saying, we need this model, they'll say we need this approval rating. What are our options? And being able to offer CSA or ATEX approvals or ISEX approvals. There's many different options that have each of these approvals, each of these third party um, uh, qualifications attached to them, and that's something that really can offer a lot of value to a potential customer. And also, being solid state and being fully encapsulated, these are intrinsically safe. Especially in hazardous applications, you don't have to worry about a spark. You don't have to worry about these heating up. You can, confidently put these on a system and not have to worry about any issues arising from them. And that being said, these are also customizable, which I'll get into the next. Right. So just on this right, you can see here, this I took off of one of our data sheets. This is the product configurator for our M321 magnetic pickup. So you can see just with this one part number, and we have many part numbers, everywhere from thread size, thread length, electrical connection, there's 5, 6, 7, 10 different options in each of these. So, 100 different configurations plus that you could potentially have to fit your system with just this one product number. And you can see on the bottom of our configurator, there's always an option for custom threads. So, if there's not quite an exact perfect fit, this is always something that you can come to me with, come to our salespeople with, come to our team with, and say, we really want to use this magnetic pickup, but we might need, you only offer up to 6-inch thread length. We need 8, and this is something that we can go look into with our suppliers, with looking into a housing that can fit the application, or maybe a different pin output that we can go hook up, or a different thread size. So these are all options that I deal with all the time, and we look into, and we want to offer everything that a potential customer could possibly need. So for us, we do proprietary models for customization, such as specific configurations or brandings. I'm actually get into an example of that when I go over into our ongoing and upcoming projects. So, as I said, there might be, quite a few customers that want their branding on a piece, or that need a specific shielding, or that need, any specific customization or configuration that is particular to their system. We do offer that. We also can do, additions or subtractions to something to integrate into established systems. So, as I said, especially with, our passive pickups and some of our active pickups, there's a lot of opportunity to fit these into existing systems, by just simply putting on a small bracket and getting a magnetic pickup within range of anything rotating. So, this is something that I work with quite frequently as well, especially when we deal with redundancies, or when we deal with maybe an older system and they're trying to get, some kind of quality readings on it. Being able to work very closely with a customer, maybe getting out into the field, seeing their application and saying, we can find a way to put a magnetic pickup on this and give you guys what you need. And speaking to that, uh, quite frequently, as I said, previously, I do get questions where customers will say, not we need this part number, but we need this third party approval, or I don't know exactly what part number I have, but these are the dimensions that I need. This is the system I have. Look at this drawing of this engine, and can you tell me what my options are for getting a magnetic pickup onto there? And that's, when I talk about our world-class quality and engineering team, this is something that we work with quite frequently, where we will, not just get an order and fill an order, but work very closely with an end user and find out their needs, find out their machines, learn their machines, and give them the best offering that would give them the best results. Because at the end, the reason we do this is so that we can provide a safe, accurate, and reliable product to our customers. So yeah, finding a solution to any problem, not just filling orders, is what we're focused on. And as I said, just to reiterate, uh, there are so many configurations to these products. As I said, there's over 100 just with this M321 product configurator that you see, and we have many different part numbers that are also very customizable. And I think what's great with our customization and our options is our engineered solutions. So looking at those drawings, looking at the customer needs, and coming up with a solution for them, it's definitely the most satisfying part of the job when I get to work with a customer and they have pains that I get to help them deal with. So some ongoing upcoming projects, just to give an example of what we're currently working on, and really what we can do here. So currently I'm working with a engine equipment manufacturer. We are providing them with a customized magnetic pickup, and this is with their own etched on branding and a specific cable shielding, because this happens to be in a harsh environment. So um, you know with our abilities to put any branding on anything, as I said, with proprietary models, we were able to go source a shielding for a wire output and provide this customer with an option that fit their need very well. And this is potentially a little bit more involved one that we're working on right now. This was, I was at a show a bit recently, a couple months ago, and a fluid engineering company actually came up to me and asked if I would help them replace a very highly customized, discontinued pickup that they have on one of their systems. So their system being not quite a generic system, they had a company quite a long time ago when it was designed that made them, I don't know the exact number, but a certain number of custom pickups that fit into their system. Over the years, they've slowly had to replace them to the point where they now need a new provider of these pickups, and their previous provider was not able to do this anymore. So, being able to work with them, really learning their system, because this was quite an out of the box one, and providing something that they have been looking for months and years, that they haven't been able to find a replacement. So this included being able to resist very high temperatures, upwards of 350 degrees Fahrenheit, a about 3-foot extension that was fully encapsulated, that was connected to the magnetic pickup, that went through a flywheel. So this was quite a complex one, and something we're still working on, but I got to firsthand talk to someone from this company, feel their pains. This was something extremely customized, extremely kind of out of the ordinary for them, and being able to provide a solution to them is something that for me is extremely fulfilling, and for them is taking out a massive headache and a massive potential loss of systems for them. So something that I'm very happy that we get to work with them, and really getting to show our ability to fit around our customers and work with what they need, and maybe go out of our way with our production, and do something a little bit different, and really try to offer something that they can't find anywhere else. So I just want to end this with the key takeaways, if you can take anything away from magnetic pickups and from Dynalco. When it comes to magnetic pickups, just think anything rotational. As I said, gas turbines and turbines in general are our big market that we see a lot of play in. But when looking at those examples, it's can be a wood chipper, it can be mining equipment, it can be a pump, anything that rotates that needs a speed measurement. Uh, the fact that magnetic pickups can be so easy to implement into systems gives a really good opportunity for that end user to easily get a speed reading. And if they need a tachometer, if they need a monitor, if they need a speed switch, it works very well with the rest of our product lines. And as we spoke about, we have so many configurations and so many different customizable options where we really don't limit ourselves to any application. So, we'll look at an application first, we'll look at a system first, we'll work with the customer first, and we'll find a way to configure our products into what they need. And as I said, it's really our team that sets us apart here. We have such a solutions-based approach to where we want to work with our customers to provide them what they need. We don't want to just get an order and fill an order. Obviously those come in and they're easy, but where we really want to add our value and help our customers is something that's a little bit more difficult than them just placing an order, but them needing an engineered solution and them needing a little more TLC. And that's something that we put a lot of pride in providing our customers with, that extra care and that extra work to really fix their pain points, and to give them, especially with magnetic pickups, a very good, accurate, reliable speed sense. So that's pretty much all I had. If there's any questions, you guys can go ahead and ask. I can go back to any slides that